The hidden truth. Behind dialysis, a life-saving treatment or a billion-dollar business. Not long ago, dialysis was hailed as a medical miracle, a groundbreaking treatment that saved countless lives. But over time, what started as a humanitarian breakthrough has evolved into a massive industry generating billions of dollars every year. And behind the scenes, there's a darker story that few people talk about. Earlier this year, a quiet neighborhood in Terre Haute, Indiana, was rocked by a shocking shooting. The victim? A kidney specialist who was shot by another doctor, Dr. Andre Obua. The motive? Even more alarming. From behind bars, Dr. Obua sent letters to CBS claiming he was trying to expose widespread corruption in the dialysis industry, a multi-million-dollar fraud that, according to him, puts patients' lives at risk. LaQuayia Goldring, a 35-year-old woman living in Kentucky, is one of over 500,000 Americans whose lives depend entirely on a dialysis machine. Every day she spends 4 to 5 hours hooked up to a machine that cleans her blood, something her kidneys can no longer do. Every morning when I wake up, I thank God that I can still breathe, that my feet can touch the ground, and that my eyes can open. LQ says her battle started at just 3 years old when cancer destroyed one kidney and severely damaged the other. A kidney transplant during her teenage years gave her a second chance at life. But when that kidney failed in 2014, she was forced back onto dialysis, where she's been stuck for over a decade. The harsh reality is that the average life expectancy for dialysis patients is just 5 years. The constant strain on the body can lead to heart failure, infections, dangerously low blood pressure, and strokes. LQ is one of the few lucky patients who can do dialysis at home on her own schedule. But most people don't have that option. Instead, they rely on dialysis clinics run by massive for-profit corporations. Two companies, Davita and Fresenius, control nearly 80% of all dialysis clinics in the United States. Experts say it's one of the most monopolized sectors in American healthcare. As Duke University economics professor Ryan McDevitt puts it, "We've never seen anything like this in U.S. healthcare. Two companies control almost the entire market. And this monopoly comes at a price for both taxpayers and patients. Dialysis sessions are often rushed, with blood filtered faster than is medically safe. Why? To cram as many patients as possible into each day and maximize profits for shareholders. Studies show that dialysis patients in the U.S. die at 1 to 2 times higher rates than patients in other developed countries. Dr. Leonard Stern, a former medical director at one of the nation's top dialysis centers, resigned after Davita took over his clinic. When I tried to order a longer dialysis session, like 5 hours for a patient, they refused. They cared more about profits than patient care, Dr. Stern recalls. A CBS investigation revealed that 1/3 of dialysis clinics in the U.S. failed federal safety standards this year alone. LQ Goldring remembers one horrifying experience. My arm was bleeding heavily for nearly 2 hours. I begged them to call 911, but they didn't. Instead, they wheeled my chair to the side and told me, "We're putting another patient in your seat. We'll get back to you later." Since 2013, dialysis centers have been cited for more than 115,000 safety violations. A staggering 67% of those violations were linked to clinics owned by Davita or Fresenius. These two corporations have paid out more than $1.13 billion to settle lawsuits over fraud and patient care failures. Yet despite these fines, both companies brought in a combined $33 billion last year alone, an astronomical sum for a healthcare service. Back in Indiana, Dr. Obua claimed that his violent act was driven by frustration over dangerous practices in dialysis, including doctors prescribing off label medications that could harm patients. In one letter, he even wrote, "There was monopoly money in my car when I was arrested," symbolizing how he viewed the industry. Just a game about money. Of course, no one condones violence, and legal experts made it clear violence is never the answer. But nearly everyone agrees that something is seriously broken in the dialysis system. Experts are calling for reforms, breaking up the monopoly, increasing competition, offering patients real choices, and expanding home dialysis options. But even home dialysis isn't easy. My face swells, my chest hurts, my heart feels like it's going to give out. Every single day. LQ shares. She's currently on 3 different waitlists for a kidney transplant, the only real way to get off dialysis permanently. But with over 103,000 people waiting for a kidney in the US, the odds are painfully slim. I'm just one voice out of hundreds of thousands of dialysis patients, but I hope my story helps more of us get the transplants we so desperately need. Until that day comes, she waits, sitting by the phone, praying it will ring with the call that might save her life. Every day feels like I've got one foot in the grave and one foot still on this side, just waiting. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to help spread awareness about the truth behind the dialysis industry.